What is happening, guys? Welcome to the Monday after stream. I'm FPL Dave, and what a shit week. What a shit week. Everyone has had the worst week ever, and it might just be Twitter, it might just be the fact that we're all too template, but the people that have done really well are the people that went for like the weirdest transfers, or you captain Vardy in a captaincy week where there were so many choices and no one got any of them right. Like, I honestly sat for about an hour and was weighing up the options between De Bruyne and Abraham, and it came into 1 point difference. So we've got a lot to talk about. Let's have a look to see what we're doing this week. Everyone having a good time with the Lundstrom points. So if you're watching this on YouTube, the game literally just finished and people are still freaking out that Lundstrom managed to get something. I myself am extremely lucky to be getting his points, and I'll show you guys that in just a second. Right, let's have a look. Today, this game week was absolutely shit for everyone. A review. The next thing that we're going to be looking after is just the fixtures, just trying to find those little pockets of gold in amongst all the heaping piles of shit that is the Premier League right now. And then finally we'll look at your teams and try and kind of work there as well. I was going to say work my magic, but my magic is just dust. It's just shit. I have no magic for you guys, but I'm gonna look at your teams anyway because it's something that I just like doing. It calms me down. It lets me know that I'm not the only one, which is the best part, which is why everyone comes to the streams, because they're able to say, hey look, I'm not the only one. David is near 3 million and he's telling people like tips. I feel at home. So welcome. I hope you all have a drink, you're comfortable, etc, etc. Liam, how long have I been live for? I don't know, let's check. Up time. 7 minutes, but a lot of that was waiting, so let's say 2 minutes. We're up for 2 minutes, so we've not been going for very long. Alright, so let's have a look at the... Tom's like, the stream's nearly over. Oh, don't do that to poor Liam. That's funny. Alright, you ready for the game week reveal? Oh, do it with the music. Yes! Ladies and gentlemen, I brought in Schmeichel this week. I have been saying over and over again that I really, really like Leicester's defense, and I just went and did it, and good golly, did that not work out. But to be fair, the Mr. Save point magnet that is Pope got just one save, I think, and Schmeichel got a whole save point, so I'm happy with that. Some of you guys may have noticed that I have 9 points on my bench that are coming in. Cantwell, Lundstrom just, I don't even know what his bonus points are looking like, because I had to set up the stream, so I didn't actually get to see that. I wonder if I'm in for any of those, but you know, I'm not being greedy. 9 points is an amazing thing to come on your bench. 3 from Cantwell, who didn't do anything, but neither did anyone else. He'll be coming in for Aguero, and then Lundstrom in for Cresswell. So altogether, from the whole team, I got 1 save point, 2 clean sheets, and 2 bonus points that I know of. That is the worst that I've ever done. 0 bonus. Alright guys, come on, thanks for the spoilers. Spoiler alert. Yeah, no, that's fine. Zero bonus for Lundstrom. I was kind of hoping there. I was like, oh, maybe he'll do a wee Rico. Even worse than last week. Last week was a green arrow, funnily enough. Last week I got a wee green arrow. It was only a tiny one, but I'll take it. I'll take any green arrow at this point. And after these 9 points come in, I feel like I've probably nailed another green arrow. As you can see there, 28 points plus 9's 37. I mean, you guys can double check that. 37. A game week rank of 3.9 million. How shit is that? That is so shit. Yet there's still maybe a green arrow on the horizon. So yeah, 37 is a pretty decent score, it seems like. But everyone's that has Lundstrom on the bench that are bringing him off. I think it's gonna be one of those like You don't really know until the game week is absolutely clear on it. I checked my my live, and it didn't really work out too well. It said that I was still on 28 points, and I know I had at least 3 when I checked it, so it was a bit iffy. Tom with the 14 points off his bench for 39, not bad. Oblivious could have captained Vardy, but instead went for Abraham. Yeah, no, why would you captain Vardy? Okay, so let's get right into it, okay? I captained Abraham. I know I've been shouting, always captain De Bruyne, and it turned out that I should have just captained him again this week. You can see he clearly got a far superior 3 points to Abraham's measly 2 points. Now, I understand that I did wrong, and I'm totally going to rectify that for my next game week, and De Bruyne will have the captaincy on him. But for this game week, Abraham was Newcastle, Wilson was playing the shittest defense ever, Norwich. You know, De Bruyne, Sterling, Aguero, if you have Mahrez still, they were playing Crystal Palace away, which is a difficult game. So you're not going to really captain them. Salah and Mane and Firmino, you're not probably going to captain them either. So yeah, it was really Abraham or you know, you might punt on Sterling or something, but it definitely wasn't a Vardy versus Burnley. Burnley have been playing really, really well defensively. That's why a lot of us have Pope in. But I figured, fucking, let's do it. Let's just bring Schmeichel in. I just really like their fixtures. And he got 2 more points than Pope. He actually nearly conceded 2 goals, but VAR helped me out in this case. VAR fucked a lot of people up this week. F's in the chat for anyone who VAR fucked out of points. Any Mane owners, any Kevin De Bruyne owners, actually, you know what, I've got to put an F in there for myself, you know. I forgot that I own Kevin De Bruyne, who clearly tackled from, was it Zaha, I think? Just completely clattered the guy. A lot of people in here in the stream know that I absolutely hate Deulofeu and everything he stands for, just intimately. I hate. Not because he's a bad player, but just because of how much grief that I took from telling everyone not to pick him. And he should have got a penalty. So, you know, that's another one for VAR. Thank you very much. Did anyone else have Aguero? Let's have a minute silence for Micah Richards having Otta, Mahrez, and Aguero. I seen that. Even a City player, an ex-City player, can't get it right. McGinn lost an assist. What's the average here of Rizal? The average here just now is about 30, 31 points. I'm assuming with Lundstrom and with some off the benchers, I reckon it'll be about 35-ish. 35, which is kind of rubbish. John Lundstrom. Sir John David Lundstrom. Someone has changed it. Hold on. There you go. Bam. Thank you for that, Tom. And is an FPL god. Wow. Yes. Liam has Aguero as well. Oh, feels bad. Hey! He was born almost a year after me. That makes me feel absolutely horrible. That makes me feel horrible. I'm not going to tell you my birthday unless you're going to send me something, which I'm assuming you're not. So yeah, so like I said, I brought in Schmeichel for this game week. I figured he was home, he's got decent things. If he doesn't hit it, you know, Burnley are definitely not going to hit their clean sheet against Vardy and the like, and they did play well, like we always say they do. But Southampton away, pretty decent for Leicester. Crystal Palace away, I feel like that's like I keep saying, a toothless team. Then they've got Arsenal at home, which is a bit iffy, but then Brighton, Everton, Watford, Aston Villa, and Norwich, very, very, very good fixtures. So I'm just doubling up in defence. I'm just going for it. And I got 5 out of 2 players. That's almost a clean sheet, lads, so I'm taking it. Other options. So here's the best part. That Arsenal at home is a brilliant fixture. Arsenal are woeful away. Yeah, I mean, it might just be, they showed it again tonight, right? But they had 75% possession and hardly any chances. It actually really, really sucked for Arsenal. They brought on Lacazette and he still didn't really do many things. You notice the RAA has made it into my list, my list of nice things to say about people. Dave, will there be a stream on Thursday because on Friday it's someone in the stream's birthday? I wonder whose birthday it is. Ooh. It's someone's birthday on Friday. Is it yours, Liam? Liam, if it's your birthday, I honestly might buy myself a cake and eat it for you on the stream. On the stream. Right, so let's just get into the meat and potatoes of the stream. Thank you all for coming out. Let's just get straight into it. My options for coming into this game week were Mane instead of Son, which accounted for 2 points. Firmino down to Wilson, or Firmino down to Vardy. Now I decided against Vardy. I was going to double up eventually on their defense, so I didn't want to add 3 Leicester players. The same way, the reason I didn't want to buy Tomori, because I didn't want to have Abraham Mount and a third Chelsea player. I want to diversify my team a bit more. I feel like that was my issue. 3 City, 3 Liverpool at the very start, and it just didn't really work out too well. So I decided against Vardy, which meant I was really only going to do Wilson for Firmino or Son out and Mane in. Now, the problem with the Son Mane thing is I've actually lost 0.3 million on that by not doing that. However, this game week I haven't been punished and I can still make the transfer with money to spare. So I might actually end up doing that. I might be going Son and bringing Mane in. However, I am 0.1 million away from bringing Sterling in for the De Bruyne, Sterling, Aguero trifecta against Aston Villa at home and Southampton at home. Pause for effect. What do we think of that? I don't mind if that is not like, obviously Sterling needs to lose a bit of funds. He needs to go down. I've checked the price predictor, if you guys can see that here, and he's not actually that close at dropping. 72. I don't think he will drop because people just see a good fixture. He might, but I'm not expecting much. So it means that might be a bit unobtainable for me. A lot of players, or a lot of managers, sorry, have Aguero, and they're wondering what to do with Aguero. I'm not 100% sure what other players need in their team, but for me, Aguero is not a fire. He missed a game. We don't know why. Pep says one thing and does another. Pep does another and then says a different thing entirely, and then 3 weeks later he says a different thing. You're fit if you play 0 games after 2 weeks, so you're in the team. But this week he's not fit because he didn't play any games for 2 weeks. So it means that he had no rhythm. Now he's fucking Argentinian. He's South American. I know he has rhythm. It's in his blood. It's in his blood. That man can dance. I guarantee it. No rhythm. But regardless, I wouldn't have had the Lundstrom clean sheet, and we don't know what Aguero would have done against Palace. He's not very good against them anyway. My point being is that Aguero, I mean, I don't really mind if he drops or not. It's not a big concern because I have made enough money value elsewhere that I can deal with it. At this point in time, though, I would prefer Sterling over Aguero simply because of these home versus away games. Aguero has been benched 3 times out of 5 for away games, and he's played every home game. So, and I know it's folly to like jump in and just try and figure out what the fuck's going on with Pep's picks, but for Aguero, taking him out before a home game and a Southampton game, I can't do it. I can't do it to myself. You know what's the most annoying thing though? If Pep says, I'm not playing him because he has no rhythm, because he hasn't played for 2 weeks, but now he hasn't played for 3 weeks. So that means that he's never going to play ever again, right? If you like, then it's 4 weeks and it's 5 weeks and then his rhythm's definitely gone. So you know he's talking bullshit. It's just bullshit. I can't believe it. It's more bullshit than fucking VAR. So anyway, Can't put too much into Pep's quotes. They're out for the season, loaned out. What are we talking about? How long are those red flags out for? Oh, my red flags? Yeah, Woodman's out for the season. He's been loaned to Swansea. And then El Neni's been out to Besiktas, which is basically just my way of guaranteeing that they never drop. Like, a lot of players, or a lot of managers, sorry, decided that they were going to bring in the 4.5 million player Manchester United's young guy, Greenwood. And then he played like 20 minutes and everyone everyone dropped him. And he just went down in price. So you see managers out there with a 4.4 million, like, nobody that doesn't do anything, that if they sell, they lose money on. I just decided that it would be easier for me to get players that were sent away on loan so they don't ever drop. Liam says, time to drop Aguero. Time to keep Aguero. Definitely time to keep Aguero. He plays at home against Aston Villa, who, by the way, are not even 3-1 to score less than 3 goals. The bookies are expecting hella goals, and that's why I want Sterling in my team. Now, obviously, they play during the week, but I absolutely don't know what's going on with my money right now. I don't know whether I want to take a hit to get Sterling in or not. I could go Sterling in and mount down to Cho if I wanted to. I don't actually know. Oblivious says, in before Aguero bench versus Southampton to play versus Liverpool. I mean, it's absolutely possible. He might not play. It's possible. But we're taking Aguero one at a time. I do know, however, that before Liverpool, I'm going to take him out. I just can't be dealing with this all year. I joked on Twitter that I could take Firmino out and add Jesus and then just play that. And then I win no matter what. And then Sterling out and Mane in. What do we think of this? Because I've got Lundstrom on the bench and I've got Cantwell. It's a horrible option and I would never do it in a million years. But just imagine I did. That's a goal. That's a goal a game probably. If I would say this, if either Jesus or Aguero get injured, I'm immediately bringing in the other guy because that's a guaranteed. That's the only 2 players that play for that spot. Sterling plays there if none of them are fit, but that's a big if. Mendy's back, so Sterling seems to be a bit of a better choice. I know they didn't really. He had kind of an off day, but it is Crystal Palace. Like, they are fucking good. They are really good. Good old Jesus. Aguizas. Every time you say Lundstrom, a shiver goes all the way through my body. Lundstram, is it? Is it Lundstram? Fuck it, mate. I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit. Jesguero. A shiver of pleasure, because he's a god. Oh, right. I thought you were making fun of me for not being able to say him. No, I never be able to say anybody's name. So yeah, so in terms of actual players that I want, I do want Sterling more than Mane. Mane's an easy choice to go from Son to Mane and just be happy in that. Tottenham, then Aston Villa, Man City's a bit bad, but at least they're home, and then they've got all this goodness apart from the blank. But the blank I can deal with later. I can bring in Sterling for that or whatever. I can downgrade him for a couple weeks. It's not a huge deal, right? I can get rid of Mane later on. But let's get rid of this. I don't even want to look at that right now. Okay, but Firmino was a good choice. He was their best player. He shot the most times. I know that Salah wasn't there, but I just think he's a really good idea. I really do. You have all 3? Yeah, there you go. I mean, it's not out of this world to bring in more City players now and then trade them out for Liverpool players down the line. It's also not out of this world to just bring in the Liverpool players in right now. Their fixtures are that good, and that's actually a good point. Let's look at the fixtures. Okay, so this is the next 6. You can see clearly that Manchester United are just way out front of any of the Liverpool and the City, blah blah blah. There's Arsenal in there, but as we've talked about, we are not being held hostage by fucking bringing in Aubameyang. He's the only player we would want from Arsenal, and he's the only player I'm not getting. Because if I get him and he blanks, it's not like they have a Kevin De Bruyne that will just find a master pass and then Aubameyang will finally get the point, right? Unless they start playing Bellerin and Tierney every single game, I'm not even considering him. He couldn't score against like easy opponents. He can't score against high opponents. He just scored the first 5 games, 6 games, sometimes 1 shot, 1 goal. He was just getting away with it. And now everyone who's jumped on him, it's going to be the exact same thing as Callum Wilson. I mean, if their numbers improve, then that's fine. But I just can't justify it. And I did think about it for a long time with Callum Wilson, but in the end left Firmino in there. And I'm glad I did, to be honest, because looking at the actual stats for Liverpool, look at that. 4 shots, the most shots. 2 on target, the most on target. Passing accuracy, almost the most. Almost the most. Only their defender. Aerials 1, 4, which is almost the most. Again, Matip takes it. Can you guys see that? Zoom in. Right? He was a beast. He played so well, and he had some good shots, and made De Gea actually have to work. The only reason Mane doesn't have a shot there is because it was, VAR happened, but still, it was still really, really, really good. So yeah, Firmino I think is actually a really, really good pick, and I'm happy with him, and I'm just gonna leave him. Now we know, we know the curse is here, right? I know that I've cursed him, but I really think that it's just being unlucky. I want to leave him. And we'll look at Liverpool's fixture run right after this. So, does anyone in the chat really, really, really give a shit about Man United players? Because they do have a really good fixture run. Fantasy, how's it going, buddy? Welcome to the stream, my man. Get rid of all the fuckers. Alba's a clean finisher. All depends on whether his midfield can get him the ball. Yeah, exactly. And I don't trust I don't trust the midfield at all. When you say Wilson, you want to die. Oh, I hope you didn't bring him in. Pepe with an absolute howler from 3 yards. Yeah, we talked about this. We talked about this game week 6 when I was doing my wild card, and people were like, "How about you punt on Pepe? Arsenal's fixtures are good." And I was like, "Yeah, but have you seen him try to shoot?" I watched a compilation video, and then I found out that was over 3 years of shots, and he just taps it in. He's kind of like Salah, but without the finishing, like without the accuracy. Sorry. So I'm not 100%. It's okay because Tammy did nothing. Yeah, Tammy shouldn't have done nothing. Tammy had the same game that he had against Brighton. Brighton, unfortunately for him, he just kind of like did everything but the finishing. And I watched that game really intently and took notes and everything, and I was really, really proud of him. And decided, like, I'm keeping him forever. And then he did okay, and then he didn't do okay, and it's kind of the same story. He's getting in good positions, but well done for everyone who brought in Cho. He looks like, Hazard 2.0. He's fucking amazing. If he can get finishing under his belt, he's going to be fantastic. Fun fact, Alonso got a goal and was the highest scoring player of this week. Mendy played for the first time in ever and got a clean sheet, and Robertson got an assist. So anyone who played last season, that is the Ram back, my friends. Ram is back. Is anyone tempted to do that? I mean, I'm not, because that would be a whole wild card situation going. I'm not 100% sure. What to do with McGinn? McGinn's out till game week 17. Yeah, I read a really, really interesting thing from Fantasy Scout that said McGinn has been moved back and Grealish has been put in more of a kind of free-flowing centre-attacking mid-position. So Grealish is actually going to be the one to play. Fixtures are so shit as well. As you can see on the screen just now, we've got... Where are they? Yeah. Man City, Liverpool, Wolves, Newcastle, Manchester United, Chelsea. Just horrible. Otamendi to United defender seems like a no-brainer because they've conceded the least shots and Wan-Bissaka's back and De Gea isn't injured. Yeah, I agree. I mean, if you really want to go for a differential. A Manchester United player is ripe right now. I actually looked at bringing Martial in because he's still out of position. He's still cheap as fuck. He's still gonna perform well, and now he has the fixtures. So why not do it? Can anyone give me a good reason why not to bring Martial in? I mean, I know the answers, but I just want to I want to hear it because they're only in my head right now. But if someone writes them down, I'd be really appreciative. Because it's Man United. There you go. And Tom, he wins. He wins. What does he win? He wins this soundbite.
Aguero!
Oh, I bet that was really loud. I bet that was really loud. Oh. He'll be injured again within 3 weeks, says Ben. Ben, welcome to the stream, buddy. Yeah, no, I really, you know what? And you say that, Rashford. I looked at Rashford. So here, hold on. How do I show you guys this? Where do I show you guys this? Bam. All right, so this is what I was looking at. So I've got Son right now in, right? If I do Rashford, I can get Sterling. And I looked at doing this hit. Sterling and Rashford. So I was wanting to do this, right? It leaves me 1 million in the bank to upgrade El Neni to someone, right? But the best part about it is that after these two games, and I leave it and maybe hold a transfer if I can take Aguero out and maybe even Sterling or Cantwell, whoever I want, right? And bring in 4.5 attacker and then bring Salah back in or Mane. Like just swap them about. Swap these two guys. And it means that I've still got the City attack, I've still got the Sterling, I've still got the De Bruyne, but I also hit the really, really good fixtures of Liverpool. The only problem is that's me taking Rashford instead of Firmino, and Firmino is just the better pick. But the fixtures are on Rashford's side, and he's going to be moving to his wing position if Martial's back, and I think that's a lot better. He just hit him driving forward with the ball from the outside is just way better than anything he can do, and makes his XA go up, makes his XG go up. Every game he plays better. If you watched the Liverpool game, you would have noticed that him coming through from the side on those lofted balls, as opposed to him, sitting there waiting, because they were kind of playing more counter-attacking, which is mental to consider that Manchester United, one of the biggest teams in the world, were playing counter-attacking at home against fucking Liverpool. It's just weird to say, but yeah, it was crazy. It was crazy. It's raw. I'm not gonna do it. It was just a suggestion. Thou shalt disobey the fixture gods. Given the turbulence of this year, do you think it's time to maybe lessen the primacy you give to fixtures? Yes, I do. But at the same time, no, I don't. I mean, yes, I think the issue for me with the fixtures is really simple. It's that the teams aren't doing what they're supposed to be doing against all the stats and against all the odds. Like Arsenal versus Sheffield United, like Lundstram, a 4.4 million defender, just got me 6 points, and everyone who has Aubameyang, who's almost 3 times the price of Lundstram, nearly 3 times, got nothing. Now that's fucking nuts. That shouldn't happen. I mean, you can have blanks once in a while, but Lundstram is consistently doing well, and Aubameyang now has blanked a few times against opponents he should be scoring against. Liverpool conceded when they shouldn't have. Injuries to defence, injuries to the goalkeepers, Spurs losing against Brighton, Manchester City losing against fucking Wolves and Norwich. So all of the fixtures for the big guys and everyone who I've been following hasn't been performing when they should. So will that go back to the medium or the mean, whatever, when I inevitably switch my team out to look at just form over fixtures? Probably, because they can't just, every team can't just not be doing what their fixtures say they should be doing. However, I definitely think we should be taking fixtures with a pinch of salt, which is why I have conveniently put Liverpool's amazing fixtures up on the screen for you right now. Is Jimenez an option, Dave? Yes, Jimenez as an option. Wolves have decent fixtures for a little while, game week 10 to game week 16, but on the actual screen right now is the Liverpool fixtures between game week 13 and game week 21, and you can see that they have the best fixtures. So that's when we kind of want to attack those, right? Now, a lot of players said that they would have bad fixtures right now. I mean, the Manchester United one was maybe a little bit hard, but Tottenham is going to be a interesting game. It's going to be very interesting. I honestly, I'm always apprehensive when the big six butt heads, but I think we could be seeing a Manchester United Chelsea, you know, a 4-0 Tottenham. I seen a stat where the defense of Tottenham they all were in the double figures for losing the ball. Defenders, Tottenham. I mean, that's exciting. So for me to not bring in Mane this week would be a disservice to him as a player and Tottenham as a shit team. I want to do that. I kind of want to do that. Tom says something which always seems important but is not really quantifiable is the narrative going to each game. Yeah, no, I absolutely agree. See this, like, Aguero scored 5 goals against Manchester United in the last 4 games, so therefore he better score this time. Like, I never listen to that shit. The history of players, I mean, some players that might be an actual, like, oh, I've smashed these guys before, and they go in with a confidence, but, like, how do we know which players are, like, sentimental like that and which ones aren't? It's very hard to understand. So I'm not really too bothered about that at all. So the fixtures on the screen show Liverpool I've got great fixtures. Spurs are coming in there. Leicester still up top, the top 10, top 18. So any Vardy or Maddison owners, it's definitely a keep for the long term. We already knew that. But Wolves play Man City and Liverpool, and Tottenham. Now, Tottenham's not that difficult, right? But in terms of the fixtures, like we said, there are pockets everywhere of good form and good fixtures, but it's difficult to, like, actually link that.
Messi to the net.
His Peter. Welcome to the big fat sexy team, my man. I'm just gonna call you Peter, or Pete for short. Welcome, buddy. I appreciate that. If you haven't followed, follow, because it's nice and I get to listen to that, and it means that you get an email and all sorts of cool stuff. And then eventually I'm gonna do follow things and maybe make a follow only WhatsApp or Discord or some shit. It's Peter. Yeah, there you go. That'll do. You can hear this. Yeah. I'm just so bad at names. I'm terrible at names. Even at work when I need to know everyone's name. It's like a known thing. I can't do nouns. Which is great because all I do is talk about football players. It's Pierre. Thank you so much for the follow, buddy. I really appreciate that. Liverpool fixtures are great. What I don't understand is if we look at this, right? Now, I know I don't want to actually go into fixtures too much, but like Newcastle, Arsenal away for Jimenez. So that's 2 away games. Man United, Norwich, Bournemouth away, 2 away games. Are we still putting a lot of emphasis on home or away? Do we still give a shit? Because it's not really working out for a lot of players. The only thing I would say is that Arsenal have 2 home fixtures next. I reckon Aubameyang comes back on that, so I wouldn't really get rid just yet if you guys own him. But it is a bit of an issue for if you want to bring in Manchester United players or Wolves players right now. Leicester have 2 away fixtures, which is probably one of the main reasons why I didn't bring Vardy in. Or Maddison, actually, probably more Maddison than Vardy, because Vardy does like a bit of a long place. Hugo Mundo on Twitter. Peter, oh my goodness. We're doing your team later. Thank you so much for sending that in. actually got your team set up, ready to go. What was I talking about? Yeah, so in terms of all the players that we're looking at for these fixtures, if we look at the fixtures that are on the screen right now, actually easier to do this way. All the teams that we're looking at, we can go through, right? Martial is probably my favorite pick there because he's back. They're going to use him. They need attack. He did well enough that everyone jumped on him. He went up 5. Now he's back down again. I think he's 7.4 million. I wouldn't say no to a punt on him. My only issue is that he's got 2 away games, but that's Norwich away. If they keep attacking like they have been doing, I reckon that is going to be a great fixture, right? Wolves, Jimenez, not Jota, because he's been getting dropped. Also, Doherty or Bally, I think would be decent. Like this is the time to have them. We can move that up a little bit, and then Wolves suddenly go up to first place in our fixture tracker. But a few more times and they kind of go back down again. They're playing Tottenham, Norwich away. Like the next 9 fixtures, Wolves are great, and I think I wouldn't mind punting on some of their defensive assets. In attack, you really only have 2 options. Either you play Traore and just kind of have him in there as your your 12th man or maybe 11th man, play him instead of Cantwell, or you bring in Jimenez, play him every game week and hope for the best. But he hasn't really shown that he can do it this season yet. They're still in Europe. They're still doing well enough that we need to be concerned about the Premier League. So I'm not 100% sure I would punt on them. Sheffield United is a no. We all have Lundstrom. That's enough. I'm bringing this down to 6 game weeks again. After that, you've got Arsenal. Like we said, we're not being held at ransom. I don't want Aubameyang. I know he's going to punish me there, but, probably not. Probably not. Probably. But that's 11 million of probablys. But I don't like any of the other players, so I'm not going to go for that. Leicester, I think Vardy is the only option in attack. Maddison, my good man James, shout out to James from Fantasy Weekly, he put it on Twitter and he got a bit of stick for it. If Maddison was 4.5 million and he had scored a goal and got an assist, would we all jump in to bring him in? I mean, his stats aren't that great. He looks okay, but Leicester don't attack a lot. They don't actually do much in terms of attacking. How many goals have they scored, do you think, if you had to guess right now before I show you it? I'm actually keeping Vardy as everything is aimed towards him. Yeah, Vardy is an absolute machine. They aim everything through him. I wouldn't be surprised if he gets a goal a game for a while now, or he averages it, or at least hits his target of 20. Because fuck me, he's their everything. He's their talisman, and that talisman mentality, that talisman theory is well and truly alive with Vardy. So, how many goals have you actually? Do you think that Leicester have actually scored in 9 game weeks? Do you think Martial will start next game? I do think he will start next game, definitely. Right, let's go down. There's Leicester, 16 goals. Not bad, but compared to they're 4th, and that's a lot. It's pretty good. You said yes. Damn, I didn't hear. Yes, I think he will. Sorry. These goals are in their XG. They're actually seriously overperforming. Now, that's probably mostly down to Vardy, but I don't think that's down to Maddison. I think he's been playing okay. I think that everything has been doing well. Maddie shares the same rough positions as Tielemans. I think it's gonna be the same thing as take West Ham for example, right? Who gets the assist if Allaire scores? It's probably maybe 4 or 5 players, and I wouldn't be surprised. They've got their 2 wingers that everyone's bringing in. They've also got some decent Fredericks crosses. Cresswell when he's back, decent crosses. these kind of teams where everyone takes a little bit of something and everyone can perform well and everyone gets an assist here and there, I don't want a part of that, right? And that's the same thing as Leicester. Like, Maddison might get a little assist, Tielemans might go, you might see Barnes doing bits, like, but it's Vardy at the end of every cross, every through ball. It's Vardy, it's Vardy, it's Vardy. I wouldn't spend money on Maddison because I feel like, find the money for Vardy somewhere. Just do it. Just grab everything you can and throw them in there, because you're not going to regret it. Whereas Maddison, you probably will. It's kind of the same as getting like City assets almost, in that, you know, any one of them could get the assist. The difference is that they actually scored 29 goals, and Leicester have only scored 16, and they're overperforming by almost or just over 7 goals. So they actually should have only scored 9, and that's probably all Vardy, because he fucks the stats something awful. Josh online, Cho or Maddison? Cho definitely. Ship Yarmolenko or keep for the next 2 decent home games? Keep for the next 2 home games. He was benched. Does anyone know why he was benched? I actually didn't see why he was benched. I will bring in Richarlison. Thoughts? What do I think of Richarlison? By the way, how do you pronounce your name? It's got a 3 in it. Is it a B? Am I supposed to pronounce the 3? Names are hard, man. Can I call you Rue? Is that rude? Thank you for all the questions, though. Richarlison. What do I think of Richarlison? I don't like Everton. They're I didn't even have to change the page, right? Let's look at the XG of teams, and we'll go, and oh look, Everton are up there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6th. I know, name so bad. It's an X. It's a fucking X. I don't know how to pronounce Zeru. There you go. That's it. That's all you're getting. Zeru. Thank you so much. What was I doing? Oh yeah. Everton players. Everton have 8 goals. They have 13 goals against them, so they're playing shit. They have 10 points, which is horrible, right? Their XG is very high. It's pretty decent. It's 5th altogether, behind Southampton, Aston Villa, Liverpool, Chelsea, and Man City. It's higher than Arsenal. It's higher than Manchester United. It's higher than fucking Tottenham by miles. But they have scored. They've scored 7 goals less than Tottenham. And what does that tell you? It tells you that they have the worst strikers in the world. Everton keep 1 clean sheet, and people are thinking about getting back on. Yeah, no, I'm not. First of all, your name changed from orange to green, and I don't like that, so stop it. Although I do really like green, so I mean, keep it going. But, you know, at least keep it consistent. Second of all, yeah, no, Everton kept 1 clean sheet. I did colors. I know. I'm autistic, guys. Everyone needs to just stay the same and call yourself Dave or Larry so I can read it and be it. Like, no, that's extremely racist. Please just carry on being you guys, okay? Just be you. I love you all, each individually. Streaming is hard, guys. Streaming is hard. Right. Everton are shit. Can we move on? I don't really want to talk about them too much. Everton have no strikers that can put the ball in the back of the net. I will be moved to the middle, which we all knew he should. I was talking to the general in Game Week 2 or something, and we were talking about I will be coming back and how Everton's good clean sheets and their good form for the first 2 games. So what should we be doing for Game Week 3? And we talked about Richarlison, Siggy, I will be, and their new boy Keane, is it? And we were like, see if they can all play, that'd be great. And he was like, I will be should be playing in the middle. And I was like, I absolutely 100% agree, Mr. General, Mr. Mark, sir, I absolutely agree. But he fucking won't. He's going to play him in Walcott's position or on the other side. He's going to play him in the winger because he just has this thing, like, I want the wingers, but Siggy needs to perform. He's going to play in the middle. Siggy's been playing absolutely shit. He's been playing shit and he needs dropped. As soon as they drop him, and Iwobi plays in the middle where he plays for Nigeria, absolutely fantastic. But it was as if like this was like an eye-opening thing for Everton, and then all of a sudden they did well and they scored 2 goals against West Ham, who they should be beating anyway. And West Ham kind of rolled over, so it was a bit of a shit effort by them. But Everton finally have this like midfield that they can actually do something with. But it means that they have to drop Siggy because he can't play anywhere else because he's been playing shit and he's not a winger. So what do? You can't just drop Siggy forever. You want to move Iwobi to the wing, and then he's not going to do anything. So if you bring Iwobi in or bring Richarlison in, it depends on who's playing in that center attacking midfield role. Because, and honestly, I don't want my player to have to depend on another player playing, or the manager actually playing their players in the right positions. It's the Arsenal thing all over again. Aubameyang plays well if they have good players, and they don't have good players in good positions, and they can't keep the same fucking energy going because he switches the players out all the time. The only player that I would consider in the whole Everton thing is Dean again, because he's in defence and he crosses a lot, and that's it. That's it. Is Emery a coach? I don't know. I'm not 100% sure. He's a manager, but I wouldn't call him a head coach. He just tinkers too much. He's just keep the same team. Just keep the same team. Like on Football Manager, if you leave all the players in the right places and leave them for fucking 10 games, then they get little yellow lines beside them, and it means that they're doing well together. If you keep fucking your team up, then they don't play well together, and that's bad. You lose against fucking Sheffield United. You can't play away to save yourself. Boo. Same team all the time. Little changes here and there. Good. Fuck me. Does the Pope shit on a bear? Probably not. Probably not. Anyway. What's the matter? Fucking Everton. I had high hopes. Who asked about Everton? The guy with the X in his name. Giroud. Yeah. So that's my rant on Everton. Who's next? Fucking give me a name. Why did he take out Pepe, who was the most dangerous of all of them? Yeah, no, I don't know what he's doing. I don't know what he's doing. Lacazette comes back, he plays forward. Then Aubameyang goes on the wing, and Saka gets away because he's too inexperienced, right? And then Pepe plays. Maybe he can do something with Lacazette, but it must be hard moving somewhere 70 million and not doing well. Like Danny Ings. Danny Ings is on my no-fly zone, or my no-fly list. No-fly list, Danny Ings, simply because he's too injury-prone. And I remember when it hurt the most when players brought him in, and I remember laughing at those managers because they had Danny Ings. Now, Southampton, and like we looked at, Southampton have a higher XG than almost every team, only bettered by 4. And 3 of them are in the top 6. So why shouldn't we be considering flying without Ings? Oh my god. Oh, why didn't I think of that? That is a belter. Welcome back, Clayters. Oh my god. Fucking belter. How does your team look right now? My team looks decent. I'm wondering about getting him in for his games versus Watford, Norwich, and Newcastle from game week 14. Yeah. I think Danny Ings is a good shout, but when was the last time he played 5 games in a row and didn't die horribly and like mangle his legs? Yeah, Clay, you're now don't let your form dip. Keep it going, Clay. I believe in you. So yeah, Danny Ings is decent. I honestly think Jimenez is a good shout, but I want them to leave Europe first because they're doing a Burnley 2018, and that's not cool. Is De La Feu essential yet, says Liam. Liam, you are absolutely off your fucking head. Yeah, De La Feu is the worst. I had to tweet Watford to let them know. And you know what the best part is? After that, they haven't tweeted about FPL that I've seen in a long time. Like, I haven't seen them tweet about it. Bournemouth tweet about it all the fucking time. But since that, they absolutely haven't, which is amazing. And I'm just going to take credit for it. Is Yanma essential yet? Oh, I was looking at him. And why was I looking at him? Not because I think he's a good option, because he was 3rd highest scorer this fucking game week. Look at this shit. Look at this. Look at this. Alonso, Grealish, who is actually a decent pick. He's something that I would like if it was not for these horrible fixtures. But you know, then on, if they keep the same diamond shape with him up front, I think it's a good idea. Janmat, just, I mean, they have okay fixtures, but I just really don't think that that you should do anything. That's just a freak. Barnes, if you really want to spend, I would rather get Cho, so it's not even an option. No, he's not an option. David Silva, he plays 560 minutes in 810 minutes worth of games, yet still gets 51 points. He's a kind of an option. He's kind of an option. And yes, I did just do 9 times 90 really fast. You're welcome. Target's an option after the good fixtures come. Bernard not an option. Steve Cook's not an option. Hudson-Odoi is. Everton, no. Tielemans, yes. Cancelo, potential option. Potential. We need him to play more minutes. More minutes. Quick maths, exactly. Bolly, exactly. Bolly. Just in general, Wolves have good fixtures. Bolly, Doherty. I know Doherty is a bit too expensive now. Let's actually look at them right now. Wolves. Bam. So Doherty is really expensive, and that sucks. And he's not going to go anywhere because hardly anyone owns him. But he hasn't been doing poorly. Like 34. And they had really bad fixtures like Leicester, Manchester United, Burnley, okay, decent, but, you know, still not the best. Everton, Chelsea, Crystal Palace away, very hard. Watford home was their best fixture, and he got 15 motherfucking points. Man City, Southampton, he should have done something, and he did. He came on for the second half and got an assist. So the only 2 real good fixtures, and he's done something magical. He also managed to get an assist against Chelsea, and he also managed to get a clean sheet in the first game of the season. So is he worth 6 million? Absolutely not. But he's not a down and out anymore. He's not justifying his price tag, but he might. Bolly, $1 million cheaper, I would definitely go for though. He has got the exact same amount of points. He's a bit more consistent, but he is the only one in their defense that doesn't really go forward that much. He got a cheeky assist in game week 4, but that's about it. But I do like him. I like him more than Cresswell right now. So I've got Cresswell sitting there, and I wouldn't be opposed to just doing that if I was on, like, if you gave me a free transfer, but I wasn't allowed to like downgrade or anything. I wouldn't mind that. That's cheeky. That's cheeky. Zero. Hi Pep. You have a player called Aguero. I promise he is good. Try him. No, I am trying him. I brought him in game week 6 because of this amazing run, and he's done fuck all for me since I brought him in. But you know, I'm keeping him for a while. Am I taking Son out this week? Yes, I'm probably definitely going to do that. Probably definitely. You heard it here first. I don't know what I'm going to do yet. I did talk about it a little bit at the start. Probably going to bring in Mane and double up with a Firmino Mane. Because if they're scoring, it's going to be one of them, right? Or Salah. I'm like kind of hedging my bets. However, I'm not opposed to doing something funky like Martial. I don't know yet. I really want Sterling actually for their 2 really good home fixtures. But I need to see what's happening with their obvious and difficult game against Atlanta midweek. All right. I'm sure we wanted to talk about something else. No, I think we're good. Oh yeah, last thing before we move on to rate my teams. Last thing is this. So we all know about him tweeting racist stuff to his friend who didn't find it racist, but it was racist to a few people. So we're annoyed about it. He absolutely shouldn't have done it. He's a twat. But it means that, funnily enough, this guy might be an option. Because if he doesn't appeal correctly and he actually gets banned, that means that there's going to be a giant fucking hole that needs to be filled. That he is really doing David Silva's job, right? So I got this article up to show you guys, because look at this. The deadline for a response has now been extended to October 21st. The ban is for 5 games, I think. 5 games. But I had a few different reports, so I didn't really want to say it like defiantly. But yeah, no, it should be a few. A giant hole that needs to be filled with the day 9 O face. Nice. Oblivious Gaming, I will give you a shout out if you can tell me who day 9 is. The meme, the little face that you just used. Give me it. Is it not day 9? Oh well, fuck it. Oh, it's Cray. Never mind. Whatever. Still though, who is day 9? He looks very much like him. Looks so much like him. Anyway, the Bernardo thing. If Bernardo goes off, I wouldn't actually be opposed to bringing David Silva in. He's doing really well. He's an internet man. Yeah, exactly. I wouldn't be opposed to bringing in David Silva or Mahrez or one of those guys. I do want Sterling, but I feel like, you know, they all become a better option when Bernardo goes off for a certain amount of time. And he's supposed to be responding like tonight. Now I've been Googling it and stuff, and I'm going to Google it right now while I'm on stream just to see if anything's actually happening with that. Bernardo Silva. But I don't think anything's actually transpired, although it's supposed to be today. So I guess that means that it'll drop like tomorrow, whether that happens or not. I actually have no idea. But he's just been shortlisted for the Ballon d'Or, which is nice for him. The racist son of a gun! How dare he? How dare he? So yeah, that's the last bit of chat. I don't really have a definite thing that I'm going to be doing for next game week. Really quickly, I want Son out. I want to keep Firmino. That's for certain. But I could do some funky shit if I don't go for Mane. Like doing Martial and just hoping for the best. And I've got 8.7 million, so I could do this. Take a hit. I've got De Bruyne, David Silva, Aguero for the really good fixtures. I've got Firmino to keep him for the curse, you know, because I'm keeping him. He's not going to never score again, right? I've got to break the curse sometime. And then Martial in there for the good fixtures and potentially playing back up top. I see this as an absolute win. If anything, if Bilva is banned, it just guarantees more game time for Kevin De Bruyne, right? I mean, they can't lose Kevin De Bruyne. You've seen how just important he is. I think he's nailed 100%. I think he might get rested with minutes, as in, you know, coming off at 79 minutes, coming off at 68 minutes, etc., etc. Once they're like fully gone and away. But in terms of playing, he stays on until they're winning, I think. Unless Pep's not comfortable. Like, that 90 minutes is probably for fitness more than anything else. That's such a fun team, to be fair. Yeah, I don't see anything wrong with this team. Like, you could shout at me all you want, right? But I mean, it's just the only problem is that it's a spread funds. And we don't really like spread funds because if Mane goes off, you can't really get to him but I can get to anyone I want in 2 moves. So I don't mind it. I don't mind it so much. If I come back in game week 10 and I have this team, it's because David Silva didn't play during the week and Martial has been deemed fit. And I can always just go Martial to Maddison if that doesn't work out. Or downgrade him again to Traore and move David Silva up to Mane or some shit. It's all doable. And I mean, for fuck's sake, like I'm 3 million right now, guys. I don't think that this is a big stretch. I don't think it could get worse by half. But yeah, I mean, I'm gonna have to do something, right? I'm gonna have to do something. So anyway, I've kind of pretty much covered. What's your team value? Ooh, it's actually high-ish, I think. I mean, I don't know what is high-ish, but I have 2.4 million in the bank. So keep that in mind. Yeah, 102.5. Get the fuck off my screen. 102.5, not bad. Not the best. It could be better. It could be better if I brought in Manny, but it's the only thing I've got going for me. Oh, 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 oh. Do you think that it's been updated? Do I get to show you guys a green arrow before we move on? No, it has not been updated. What about if I use the thing? Go to live FPL. Mine's 101.5. I would trade 1 million value for 1 million green arrow. 36.4. Average is 35.8. So I am just above the average. Just. Oh, that's top 10k. I might be doing even better. What's happened, Jimmy? How's it going, my man? We're just checking to see if our team has been updated yet. Oh. 2.75 million green arrow. Yes. Look at that shit. What was my old rank? 2.773. I went up 20k. Oh, yes. Another belter for the Dave Meister. Oh my god. That is the worst. It just makes me feel so shit. That's a horrible way to end this part of the stream, but we're doing it anyway. Thank you very much. We're gonna go into the rate my teams now. So if you haven't sent your team already, it's too late for this time, but I'm gonna be streaming on Thursday, where I'm gonna be doing a whole other set of rate my teams. I actually might just do a full day of rate my teams. I'm not 100%, but it also means that most of the Champions League games will be finished and we'll be able to decide a bit more about our little David Silva thing. I really want to find out what Bernardo Silva's doing right now. But anyway, we're going to go straight into the rate my teams. Let me fix that here. And cut for YouTube. Bam!